In this video, we're going to cover everything we've learned about upcoming banners for versions 5.2 to 5.5. These banners will include the release of Mavuika, reruns of popular characters, and the next Chronicled Wish, which might arrive as early as version 5.3. I'll also give you an estimate of how many free pulls you can expect as a free-to-play player in each version. Keep in mind, most of the information I'm sharing comes from leaks and rumors. And while some details are from credible sources, like the release order of new characters, it's important to note that everything could change before official announcements are made. So, be sure to stay updated as we get closer to the actual releases. Starting with version 5.2, which is set for release on November 20th, we'll likely see more details revealed during a special program on November 8th. During that event, they'll probably announce the banners, showcase events, and provide us with 3 redeem codes for 300 Primo Gems, which I'll post on my channel right away, so don't forget to subscribe for those. In the first phase of 5.2, we're expecting Chaska and Lene as the featured 5-star characters, alongside the 4-star character Ororon. While the hype for these characters might be moderate, the second phase is where most players' attention will turn. That's because Neuvilette and Zhongli are expected to headline the second phase. These are 2 fan-favorite characters, and many players will be tempted to pull for them. But with Mavuika's release just around the corner, it's important to plan your pulls wisely. For free-to-play players, you can expect around 74 free pulls from event quests and commissions in version 5.2, but if you've got the Welkin Moon, that number jumps to about 100. Hoyoverse placing Neuvilette and Zhongli right before Mavuika's debut seems like a strategic move to drain players' Prima Gems, so be cautious. Now, moving on to version 5.3, which will drop on January 1st, 2025. There will be a special program on December 20th where they'll reveal more about the banners and events for the new update. We'll finally get to see official Mavuika gameplay in this update. Mavuika is a highly anticipated pyro character with one of the most unique kits we've seen. Her elemental skill lets her throw her weapon and enter a Night Soul state with different effects depending on how long you press the skill. A short press changes her weapon into a sun torch that shoots fireballs, while a long press transforms it into a motorcycle that can even turn into a glider in midair, causing explosions when it hits enemies. Her elemental burst enhances the Night Soul state and provides interrupt resistance while boosting team attributes with a flashy rainbow effect. Sounds pretty amazing, right? Alongside Mavuika, we'll also get Sitlili, a character with cryo abilities. Her elemental skill grants a shield, and her burst deals off-field cryo damage. We don't yet know if Sitlili will be a 4-star or a 5-star character, but if she's a 4-star, Mavuika is likely to appear in the first phase with Chitlali in the second. This version will also feature the Lantern Rite event, one of the biggest events in Genshin. Along with it, we'll see the introduction of a new Yelan skin and the Liyue Chronicled Wish. There's a chance we'll get reruns of characters like Zhao, Ganyu, Baizhu, and Yelan during this time. Some players have pointed out that Yelan's last rerun was in version 4.8, but considering how quickly Hoyoverse has rerun certain characters before, like Yoimiya in versions 2.8 and 3.2, it's not impossible for Yelan to return, especially with her new skin. If Tsitlali turns out to be a 4-star, we could see another strong rerun in the second phase, potentially Arlecchino or Ryothisli, depending on how the banners are structured. As for Madame Ping, her playable model will be featured, but her release is expected in a later version. In terms of free pulls, free-to-play players can expect around 80 free pulls in version 5.3, but if you have the Welkin Moon, that number increases to about 110. Since Lantern Rite is part of this update, you might even see more free Primo Gems than usual, making this a great time to save up for Mavuika, Sitlali, or whichever rerun character you've got your eye on. Looking ahead to version 5.4, this update is expected to release on February 12th, 2025. Based on character IDs, we'll see a new character named Ianson, though we don't have any information on her kit yet. This version will also finally make Madame Ping a playable character, expected to be a 5-star polearm user, but there's still a lot we don't know about her abilities. Reruns for this version could include Venti and Clorendi, and if Riothesly doesn't rerun in 5.3, we might see him return here. Genshin is definitely dealing with a backlog of characters who need reruns, and some players have started questioning why Hoyoverse hasn't added a 3rd banner slot, similar to what they did in Star Rail. Adding another banner could help balance things out, but we'll have to wait and see. Finally, let's talk about version 5.5, where we'll likely get a new 5-star Electro character rumored to be called Prison Girl. She's said to be connected to the Fortress of Merope and uses a whip in her kit, which sounds pretty exciting. There's also talk of a new character named Ifa, who might be a 4-star male character, but there's some speculation that he could be upgraded to a 5-star. Some players are pushing for Auroran to be promoted to 5-star status, and that could affect how Ifa is positioned. For reruns, we might see the first Natlan character return, with either Mualni or Kinich getting a rerun alongside Furina. It's also important to note that we won't see a playable Harbinger in the Natlan arc, so if you're waiting for characters like Capitano or Columbina, you'll need to hold off until we reach Snezhnatya. As you can see, the banners ahead are looking pretty exciting. Personally, I'm aiming for Mavuika since she's the Pyro Archon, and I'm sure she's going to be incredibly strong. But I'm also tempted by Prison Girl's banner, because I've been a fan of her design since Fontaine's release. What about you? What characters are you planning to pull? Let me know in the comments.